Furthermore, we find Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu narrates that in the eyes of Allah, no amal and no deed is more heavier on the mizan and on the scales than the a'mal of the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. And the first 10 days, and we all, why are you in the masjid today? So that Allah can accept your a'mal. Why do you recite the Quran in the morning and the night time? Why do we stand for tahajjud? Why do we do all of these good deeds? All of this do we do so that on the Yawmul Qiyamah, when we are standing in front of Allah, there is no hijab between you and I and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and in between us is the mizan. On that day, we expect to see our a'mal extremely overweighing our bad deeds. Think about a scale in real life. The heavier the object, the more weight the object will have on the scales. And even nowadays, you go to the groceries and the shops, in vegetable shops and so on, they still use scales as a mechanism of bay' and of transactions. So the heavier the object, the heavier the item is. Now if an item's base quality or the base rate is very high, even though a gold, for example, gold, the base rate of gold is very high. So even though it's measured in grams or in milligrams, when you put it on the scales, it shoots up to hundreds and thousands of pounds. Why? Because the base rate of that gold is very, very high. In exactly the same way, the base rate of some of our a'mal will be heavy and some will not be heavy. For those of us who pray salah, alhamdulillah, we all pray salah, but the quality of the salah makes a difference, not the quantity. So the quality has khushu wal khudu, tawaddu'u, and a connection with Allah. That salah will be more valuable and heavier on those scales than those salah that we do parrot fashion. Though that salah is acceptable, but it is more heavier in the eyes of Allah, where there is quality and there is more emphasis on that quality. Similarly, my brothers and my sisters, the a'mal and the deeds that you do, little bit of charity, bit of recitation of the Quran, fasting in these days, controlling your sights and your ego and your nafs on these days, in the eyes of Allah, it has a lot more weight on that mizan than any other time, as narrated by Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu. This is Sahih Hadith in the Musnad of Imam Ahmad rahimahullah. So a few things that we need to remember about these days, which starts 18th to the 19th of this month, very in the next few days. Next Jum'ah will be in the heart of the 10 days, or the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah.